Hello everybody, welcome to another video about Dyflexis, about the Dyflexis system. Today I'm going to tell you a bit more about hours registration, so how hours can be registered and approved within Dyflexis. We've got three main ways how hours for employees can be registered. The first way is that employees register their hours by using a clock, and a clock can be our hardware Rexomatic, or it can be employees using their mobile phone to clock in, clock out. The second way of doing that, of registering hours, is that employees within the app register their hours themselves. So they book hours like they work from 9 to 5 within the app. The third way is that the manager does do the hour registration for the employee within Dyflexis. I'm going to explain those three methods to you within this video, and I'm going to do that with the hours registration menu option within Dyflexis. You can go there by clicking on the clock on the left hand side and then hours registration. If you do that, the following screen opens, and as I said, I'm first going to explain the method where the employees clocked their hours. At this moment you're looking at one specific day. You'll see here that I've got three tabs: day, week and month, but currently we're looking at one specific day. You'll see the hours that the employees were scheduled to work, and next to that you'll see the hours the employees clocked. This is the base for the hours that we're going to calculate for the employee as worked hours. If we're going to do that, we can do that. We can approve those clocked hours by using the button here at the end of the screen, or I can do that for everybody at once by clicking everybody in here and then selecting the bulk option, confirm clock times. If I'll do that, you'll see that blocks of green worked hours are automatically calculated. We'll calculate those hours by keeping in mind your rounding rules that have been set. So if, for example, the employee, and the first example is a good example, the employee clocked out a little bit later, but the routing rules that have been set tell us that the employee will only be paid until 8 o'clock. So that's been rounded here. After we generated those green blocks of hours to be paid, we'll see in the difference column all the hours that differ from the scheduled hours. So here we see at once that this employee has 30 minutes less booked hours than scheduled, and this one has 15 minutes less. The others are all in line with the schedule. Of course, if you want to adjust something as a manager, you can still do that. So this example where we rounded the 5 minutes, as a manager I can decide that we'll pay those 5 minutes by simply adjusting it here and saving it. And then the green block of hours, the hours we're going to pay, are exactly in line with what was clocked. If I did that, then my final action as a manager would be to approve all the hours. I again can do that one by one by clicking at the right hand side, but I can do that for everybody by using the bulk action again and approve the registered hours. If I do that, we'll see that all the hours now are approved, which means that the hours count towards the worked hours for that employee and will be used within the calculation in the hour overview per pay period. That's the first method to register the hours. The second method is that the employees via the app book their own hours. I have an example of that situation on another day, on the Tuesday. There you don't see any clocked hours, but you immediately see the green blocks with booked hours, the hours the employee booked. What a manager here then can do is simply check those hours, see whether there are any differences, and if needed, adjust the hours. exactly the same as the last time. I can adjust the hours in here if I'd want to, and that then of course will have an effect on the worked hours for that employee. If this is all correct, the only action as a manager that I need to do is again approve all the registered hours. The third example that I have is where the employees don't do anything, but you as a manager register all the hours for the employees. You can again do that in bulk for all employees at once by selecting all employees in the screen and then choose the option Quick Hour Registration. If I do that, you'll see that we'll generate the green blocks with worked hours based on the scheduled hours of the employee. So these are one on one the same right now. And the only action I need to do is again approve all the hours of these employees. One final thing, you've probably already seen that we do have a plus button here as well that can be used to add some specific type of hours for the employees. So in a specific scenario, if the employee didn't work that day and that wasn't requested up front, I can add some holiday hours. Or what I can also do on a specific day, I could add a balance correction if I'd want to make a correction to, let's say, the holiday balance. So within this plus button, I've got multiple options to add some additional hours for employees and make some corrections. Next to the day overview that we just discussed, there's a week and the month overview as well. If I, for example, click on the month overview, I am able to select a specific employee and then I get an overview similar to the day overview, but then based on a month. And I can do the action for that employee for a specific month. What next to this is very useful in this screen is that we do have some filter options. If I click on the filter on the left hand side, I can, for example, choose to filter on all hours that still need to be approved. So if I want to check within a certain period whether there are any hours that still need to be approved or where no worked hours are registered yet, these filter options allow me to have those hours in one overview, in this scenario for an entire month, and this works exactly the same if I select week for a specific week. Thank you very much and see you next time.